recap of round number 4 of Canadian Close Chess Championship 2025. I was playing against James Wintram 1953 with black pieces. So that was the first game of the day, and he goes knight f3. So before the game I briefly checked his games. He doesn't have many of them. I think f4 is what he played most of the time. And I checked that, okay, I'll play c7, but I couldn't prepare more. So I was like, okay, I have nothing to prepare for, so just, play chess. And he goes knight f3, I go knight f6, c4, e6, g5, b6. So maybe I should have gone for something like d5 here, just to play this solid setup. King's Indian reversed, or just, yeah. I think that will be King Indian reverse. I'm not sure what he was going to play there, but maybe bishop e7, d5 is a more solid option. I decided to go b6. I'm trying to get to Queen's Indian. Let's say here I can just make the transposition, bishop b4, bishop d2, and bishop e7, the thing that I usually play. But yeah, I'm now kind of getting away from it. So bishop g2, bishop b7, and he played it almost instantly. Like he played, I believe, first let's say 13 moves without even spending any time. Bishop e7, knight c3, castle, while I was trying to find the best setup for myself. So here he told me after the game that he actually prepared d5, and after knight e5 I was probably going to play maybe even c5, and after d4 and b7 we're kind of getting a simple play. Maybe I should have gone for this, but once again it's something that is looking very, very dry and boring. I decided to go for so-called, how do you call it actually? What's it called? Hedgehog System? Yeah, Hedgehog System, Hedgehog Defense. d4, c takes d4, knight d4, queen c8. Queen c8 is just to protect bishop on b7. Let's say I play something like h6, there is e5 and I'm losing the game. D takes f5, bishop b7, and if I take on g2 first, there is e takes f6, and now if I go back, d takes f7, white are up a piece, and of course the position is losing. So queen c8 just to protect the bishop, so he doesn't have any e5 ideas as of right now. b3, a6, bishop b2, knight d7, rook c1, rook d8. So rook d8 is already kind of a bad move. Rook e8 is best, and he told me after the game that even rook e8, there are some knight d5 ideas, not necessarily right here, but even knight d5 in this specific position is good enough. I go rook d8, and he goes knight d5. So honestly, after rook d8, I thought he's gonna go for g4, and I'm actually not sure because I calculated g4, and I was like, okay. I just tried to find the best setup. I also thought of knight d5, but I'm just giving too many tempos, and here once again there is knight d5. If I go bishop d8, I think it's just absolutely horrible. Like I have to take queen g4, king h8, king h4. I think it's over because now king g7, king g5, and he takes on f6. So there's not an option. So rook d8, knight d5. Now bishop f8. So why not e takes d5? That's a good question, because I spent some time analyzing it and honestly could have played at c takes d5. So the point is, right now I don't want to play knight c5 immediately because b4 I'm completely lost. There is f5 square, white will take the piece back, there are no problems, so I go queen b8, knight c6. And now what I calculate is takes, knight c5, c7, queen c6. So there's been a lot of so if he goes before, immediately I go knight e6 and I'm actually fine, I'm just up a piece. But there is c7, king c7, and I'm not sure why, what I calculate. But now e5 doesn't work due to d takes e5, and this is under attack. So b4 is best, and after rook a b8 takes, I'm apparently up a pawn. Still, there's like a lot of compensation for white. They have two active bishops, but look, I just didn't calculate that deep. And yeah, unfortunately for me, just not deep enough, and yeah, not good enough. So bishop f8. Bishop f8 was played in the game, and I was like, okay, if trade happens, I should be good. f4, very active move. Still not taking this knight on f6. I go queen b8, and now he finally takes. knight c2, knight c2, and here I realized that I'm probably not worse. It should be around equal. I go knight d7, which is the best move, knight d3, and now I go b5. And I thought I equalized, and I thought I should have no problems, but at this point I think I had around 12 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. So it's really tough from now on just to stay alive here. So there's a beautiful idea, guys. Let me show you. Knight g4, and let's say I go something like takes. There is knight h6, and now the best move is to go this way, but knight f7, knight d8, he takes in exchange. So what happened after g takes h6 is queen g4, bishop g7, queen g7 checkmate. So you gotta be extremely careful after knight g4, and there are also constantly some ideas on this long diagonal. So he goes king h1. I go b takes c4, rook c4. So here I spend some time analyzing d5, but after knight b6, bishop b5, I'm just, yeah, white pieces are just too active and I can't do it. I even calculate maybe I should go for this, rook b8, and then take on d5, but again, it just seemed like I can't really do this. Bishop d5, oh, now I'm, yeah, doesn't have to take, just play h4, king h2, and then take on d5. So I thought of this sacrifice, I saw all this sacrifice, but they never worked in my head. So here I could also just take. What happened after knight d5? Oh, you know what? It was kind of tricky in a way. If bishop d5, I go knight. Wait, so I had this. I actually had this. I could play d5, honestly. For some reason, I only calculated knight b6. I didn't even consider recapturing, because I thought I'm just gonna be down a piece, but there are like bishop d5. Do I have knight b6? Ah, knight b6, knight f6. But takes, if queen d5, knight b6 still. If bishop d5, still knight b6. And if rook d4, knight d5, rook d5, queen b7, and I'm apparently just winning f6. Oh, I actually saw something like this, and I was like, maybe in not... Yeah, so I was calculating this, let's say after, yeah, I was like c takes d5, knight b6, let's say they go rook d4, and now I take on d5, knight d5. Yeah, but this is like kind of equal, queen b7, and the position is fine. But there is like bishop b5 attacking the queen, and I was like, okay, I don't have much choice here. Probably have to take, because queen a7 obviously is not a move, bishop d4, and knight is unfortunately a very bad spot. So rook c4, and I go knight c5, which is, I would say it's a significant mistake already. Like, I was down on time and it's very hard to hold. So computer thinks a5 is best, just make it move. Knight g4 and now e5. I didn't even see it, I didn't even calculate it, I just... Looks like e5 at some point has to be played, because if bishop is too active here, there's just too many threats. There are also ideas. Let's say knight c5, knight g4, that's what was actually played, and now h5, maybe h6, and there's like maybe even knight h6 takes queen g4, and now it looks like I'm not sure. Yeah, this looks like a win, but there are some lines where actually I think when knight is on d7 there's like same thing, but queen h5 now makes it draw. It's queen h5, and now I'll have to repeat moves. Here apparently I'm good. So knight g4 was played. Knight g4 was played, and now I'm slightly worse. So I calculate h5. I thought this pawn is just too weak, and I can't do much. The computer thinks that's kind of good. Knight d3, rook e2, knight b2, rook b2, queen a7, and it's around equal. Yeah, I just couldn't find good continuation. Generally, this tournament is going pretty bad. Like, I can't calculate stuff. It just, yeah, I can't even explain like what's happening. It takes f5, and we're transposing to the endgame where, again, I'm worse. And unfortunately, this pawn is about to fall. I go g6, knight d5, and now rook a7. It's probably the biggest mistake of the game. Move 27. I didn't have enough time, and yeah, once again, can't say anything. Computer thinks a5 is best once again, and if knight f6, king f7, knight... so I have to play king g7. I kind of thought, let's say knight d5, rook a7, bishop d4, rook b7, knight f6. Here I would play king h8, but Apparently after b4 I'm just completely losing. Actually, why knight d3? Ah, there's just this, and I can't do much because knight e6, knight e4 don't work. Knight e4 is discover check and capture at the same time. So yeah, unfortunately it is what it is. So after rook a7, I'm trying to get the 7th rank under my control. Bishop d4, rook b7, knight f6, king f7, knight h7, bishop 7, bishop takes. And now we're transposed into the rook game where unfortunately I just have too many weaknesses and I can't really protect it. Rook d3, I offered him a draw, of course he declined. Yeah, I just had to try it out. Maybe he'll accept. But I kind of knew that probably that's unholdable, considering that I had very low time left. And yeah, this is just a tough endgame to protect. And he converted pretty smoothly, kudos to him, like he played really well from now on. Rook e5, rook d5, yeah, just going back and forth, and after king h6 I admitted my loss. So yeah, had some chances. The accuracy, the most interesting part for you guys is 96.2 for white and 89.6 for black pieces. Yeah, one brilliant of the game was, of course, f4. Knight e5 kind of deserved this as well, but f4 just keeping the knight unprotected once again. And by the way, here e takes d5 no longer work because now they're just actually knight c6 doesn't work. What I was surprised after the game is g4 is best, and look at this. I kind of thought maybe he should go for such sacrifices, like just let the piece be sacrificed on d5, but then, you know, knight comes to f5, g5, rook e3, rook h3, queen h5, and looks scary. Looks scary despite being down a piece. I mean, what? This is extra piece? Come on. Or this is extra piece? Nah, this is just terrible. But yeah, I didn't really have too many chances. Lost the game. First loss of the tournament with 3 draws in the first 4 rounds. No wins yet. But next round, round number 5 with white pieces. So you'll see tomorrow. The opponent once again is 1960. Opponent, I can't beat 1900s. I can't beat 1900s. That's insane. One of the worst tournaments I've played in a while. Probably like the worst tournament. Yeah, I just have a lot of problems for some reason. Hopefully we can recover in the next rounds. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the recap of round number 5 tomorrow. Bye bye.